Congratulations to Cambrea Sturgis. She is the national champion in the 100 and 200 meters. Still trying to find, where that ranks in history in terms of how many people have done that. I don't think too many people have done it historically. So certainly a great job by her. Her 4x1 team also finished third nationally, and the Aggie women finished fourth overall. And I got a little tidbit that said that we were the only track and field program that had both the men and the women make the podium for finishing in the top four. So another great accomplishment for Dwayne Ross and his crew. We will start things out with Coach Ross giving us an opening statement, and then we will open the floor for questions. If you have a question, put it in the chat or wave your hand with the emoji, and I will get to you. Coach?
Hey, good evening, everyone. Thanks for having us. Just so proud of this program and what they've done for this institution and our illustrious alumni. Our kids went out there. This is, all on them. I mean, they deserve all the credit. They went out there and went to war and just had a great week of competition against some great teams. We beat some teams that have won NCAAs in the past, and coming in, we weren't given a whole lot of expectations as far as finishes. I think Cambrea wasn't predicted to even place, I believe, in the 100 meters. It was one of them, and whatnot. So we're just excited, to be able to come here and do what we've done. And as I mentioned, the kids, they ran their hearts out, especially this one here.
First question comes from Kevin Connolly, WGHP, Fox 8.
Oh, it's me. It's Danny.
Oh,
how you doing? You're good. Hey, Coach, would you comment on this, and then Cambrea, if you would, afterward? Can you put what she did tonight in a historical perspective? If you go back to look at the winners in the history of this event, she ran times that Torrance and Devers and Audie never ran. And in the 200, she ran times better than Flojo and Torrance and Guidry ever ran. I mean, am I blowing this out of proportion, or did she do something tonight that was just so mind-blowing?
She did. And I told her in our team meeting that was superstar status, which, I've been trying to convince her that she possessed since I recruited her. So yes, I don't know if it's really sunk in for her right now. But yes, that's the names you mentioned. We know those names. She may not know them. These those, but yes, very much so. Superstar status, incredible. You look at the history of those athletes that have come in and run close to those times, or won NCAAs in the 100 and the 200. They went on to have great careers. Olympic gold medalists, Olympic champions, world champions, and she's no different. She's going to be in that conversation as well.
If you have a question for Coach.
Well, no, she was going to follow up with his.
It just shows that NCAT can be what they call an elite school, and we can run with the best.
If you have a question, you put it in the chat, or you can use the emoji button to notify me. Coach, what does this say about your program in terms of where you guys now rank amongst the best in the country now that you got your third place and fourth place finish?
Well, as I said this to the team this evening, that they should have been paying attention when I claimed it before it happened. We take what we do over here seriously. We always have. We're passionate about our track and field program. Our kids are passionate about what they do, and this is nothing new. A lot of people are surprised about these performances this weekend, and I told my team, hey, they shouldn't be. I've been saying this was going to come to fruition. We're not, what it says is that, hey, we are who we say we are, regardless of our competition wanting to believe we're better. I still believe some of our competition is struggling with the fact that we are better. They make always go back to, resources. How can a program do this? But hey, it says what I've always been saying. We're here to stay. We're a great program. We're only going to get better. We got great athletes like Cambrea, and whatnot that are going to keep trying to be the best. So yeah, that's the answer to that.
Our next question comes from Brian Hall, WFMY. Brian.
Hey, Cambria, thanks for taking the time, and congrats. Most of us, only in our minds can run 10.74. When you hear that gun go off, what goes through your mind when you're going down the track in an event this quick?
To just execute and focus. If not, I'm gonna hear from my coach that I didn't execute and focus.
I'm sorry. I beat that into her brain so much. I knew that was coming.
Our next question comes from Stephen Gaither, HBCU.
Stephen Gaither, HBCU Game Day. Cambria, first off, congratulations. Great run, set of runs, just an incredible performance over the year. Talk about, before you got here though, how did you get to A&T? What got you from Kannapolis to Oregon, and just what motivates you to continue to push it and go the best besides, what your coach is drilling into you?
What got me from here, from high school, was me running AAU. I really, I was running good, but I know once I get to college, I was gonna run better. So that's when I started getting offers from other schools. And then I got an offer from A&T, but I didn't want to go. I didn't want to come here. But once I came and visited, he told me all, the opportunities I had, and that he was going to give me the nationals. I was going to rank high, even though I was just an incoming freshman. So once I heard that, I took that offer, and my freshman year came, and I did what he said he was going to do.
Our next question comes from Eddie Hughes, Spectrum TV.
Cambria, congratulations. What does it mean for you to bring home the 100 and 200 back to Greensboro, bringing another national championship to North Carolina A&T's track and field program?
It just shows that we put in the work. What we put in, we show the results out on a big competition like this, and I'm happy.
Our next question comes from Lauren Walsh, WXII.
Hi, Cambria. Congrats to you and the entire team. When you look back at your performance today, what are you most proud of?
The 100. I'm very most proud of the 100. I was a little bit nervous, but I knew that even though there was other good competitors, I knew I was just as good as them. So I just had to go out there and run my race.
Let's go back to Stephen Gaither, HBCU Game Day.
Yeah, one more question, well, two more for you, Cambria. After you ran that 100 time, exciting, but you were able to go back and, do the 200 as well. Like obviously it's something that you've done many times before, but you won a national championship, and then an hour later you're racing again. How were you able to kind of deal with all those emotions? And then secondly, your time, even though it was wind aided, faster than Sha'Carri Richardson. I know we talked about a lot of the folks, and maybe you don't know them, but everybody knows who that was. Just talk about putting your name up there with that type of athlete as well.
With me running and winning the 100, I knew that I had another race, so I just had to be like, okay, you did good, now get ready for the 200. And with Sha'Carri and me, with my time not being wind-aided, I know that even though when the trials come, I know I'm still gonna run a good time, wind-aided or not.
Let's go back to Danny Harnden, Fox 8.
Coach, you touched on this a little bit earlier, and if you both could comment on this, when you get back home and you look at the television broadcast, what I remember is they didn't mention her name. They mentioned, like, in the 100 and the 200, these other people, the girl from USC. When it was finished, I mean, did people look around like, what just happened? That I don't understand what just happened.
Absolutely. Let me tell you what, the section, the North Carolina A&T section was loud, the loudest in that big stadium, right? I mean, during that race, I was receiving text messages, that right before the race, took off, that she wasn't mentioned. And after the race, I'm looking at, going through my text messages, and, but that's what, that's what we're talking about, just the lack of respect. This young lady ran 10:92, one of the fastest times in the world, just 2 weeks ago. Right. And, they just want to talk about what they're used to. Right. It's, the same old, right. I mean, but that's what I've been talking about all year, and whatnot. Just, give these young kids the respect that they're due. So yeah, I did hear that. I got a lot of text messages and a lot of phone calls from alumni saying, hey, they didn't even mention her name before the race. Whatnot. But hey, I bet you they'll be mentioning her name a lot more from now on. You got anything on that?
Yeah, like during my race, the announcer, he was just saying how, TT, and look out for TT and Tamara. And he really didn't touch up on my name, but I knew in my head, I was like, it's okay, just go out there and run your race. And if you win, now they're going to know your name.
Our next question comes from Brian Hall, WFNY.
Coach, just going off what Brian told us earlier, how special is it that North Carolina A&T is the only school to have a top 4 finish in both the men's and the women's championship?
Yeah, man, it's exciting. I think I'm still, I think I'm still on cloud 9 regarding that. I mean, what coach wouldn't be? I mean, this here is a measure, of program success. And I am pleased to have a hand in that, to lead these young people and, lead our staff into, to what we're doing. I mean, we've been talking about making history ever since Cambrea has been here, even before she was here, about doing some things that just people say can't be done. So yeah, I mean, it's a wonderful feeling. It really is. Just so happy for our kids, our staff, our institution, our alumni. I mean, they're great. I mean, we had people travel here to Oregon to see this. I mean, and and our team did not disappoint. So yeah, great moment. But let me tell you, we're already planning for next season. I mean, before we left the track, we were already on the phone with recruits, about next season. I mean, the goal is to do it bigger and better each season. To have the better recruiting class, next year. The better results next year. And eventually to win the title. And I believe that we're right there. I mean, it's tougher. We all know it's tougher the closer you get, but I think these young people are prepared for it.
We have another question from Lauren, WXII.
Cambrea, this one's for you. You said that if you win the race, everyone will know your name. So now that they do know your name, what should people know about Cambrea, the person, along with the runner? I think we saw who you are as a runner. So what should people know about you as a person?
That this is just the beginning. After trials, I'm going to still keep doing what I'm doing and still be at the top.
Our next question comes from James Hill, BNC Sports. There, James? You lost James? Okay, I think we lost James.
Hey, I apologize. I'm having technical difficulties. Cambrea, congratulations on that national championship. Can you talk about what that means to you personally, and also for Aggie Pride and for the MEAC and for HBCU sports as well?
It just means that I'm in a good position going into trials and the Olympics, and for my team, it just gives them more confidence knowing that they can do it like I've done.
Are there any more questions for Coach Ross or Cambrea.
A couple of real quick things. The ESPN announcer kept calling her Cam. Cam, do you go by Cam or was?
Yeah.
Okay.
I that too.
Okay.
But I do go by Kim.
Okay. And Coach, was that one of your girls that took that fall on the hurdle?
Yeah.
That was one of the nastiest falls I've seen. Is she all right?
Yeah, she's fine. But let me tell you that yeah, she lost focus for just a split second in the hurdles, and and that happens. But yeah, she's fine. But let me tell you, if she doesn't get up and walk across the finish line, we don't finish fourth. We don't bring home the trophy, right? So just to have to, after going through that fall, to have the fortitude to say, hey, you know what, let me get up and score this point for our team. Like I said, just speaks volumes about the character, of what they're trying to do. I mean, they're relentless. They understand what their destiny is, and as I told them earlier on the bus, I mentioned this to someone else. When a man knows what his destiny is, it's tough to beat him. And this team is, they're locked in, they're focused, and they're going to do what they have to do to be the best. I mean, it as a coach, it just makes you feel good to be able to sit back and see them do these things. I mean, come on, 2 years ago, no one would have thought, Cambria would, be up here doing this, or, we would be the only school in the country, walking out of Eugene with, 2 trophies and whatnot. So it's only going to get better from here.
I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. Certainly want to thank you guys for all your coverage of A&T athletics. We certainly appreciate it. And we want to thank Coach Ross.